Hello everyone, today we'll present you one of the greatest theoretical astrophysicists, Stephen Hawking. Stephen Hawking was born in January 8, 1942 in Oxford. Her father was called Frank Hawking, who was a biologist, and her mother called Isabel Eileen Hawking, who was born in a family of doctors. When he was 17, he went to Oxford University. He was a lazy and difficult student. He loves theoretical physics and graduated in cosmology.
Stephen Hawking's career. The theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking had a long career when he made a lot of jobs and overall incredible discoveries. In his career, Stephen Hawking was author, actor, mathematician, cosmologist, astrophysician, scriptwriter, pedagogue, university teacher, science writer, and course theoretical physicist. One of the most famous scientists began his career in the University of Oxford to study astronomy, but quickly left this university with the honors for Trinity Hall to learn theory instead of the sunspot studies. He, for example, participated to the studies of theoretical astronomy and theoretical cosmology. After his studies, he was elected researcher of Gonville and Caius College of Cambridge. His work, studies, and discoveries were mainly made on the general relativity and more precisely on the black hole physics. In the last of the 60s, with his friend and Cambridge colleague Roger Penrose, he created a new complex mathematics model which can describe the universe determined by the known physics law from the general relativity theory of Albert Einstein. In 1971, Stephen Hawking suggested the formation of mini black holes after the Big Bang that are many little objects that contain billions tons of mass but take the space of a single proton. These mini black holes are incredible objects because they need that the relativity law apply on them for their big mass and gravity, but also that the quantum mechanics apply on them for their tiny size. The works of Stephen Hawking on black holes in general helped to define the properties of the black hole object that we didn't know that much before. In 1974, the Royal Society elected him as their youngest member. The same year, Hawking said that with the quantum theoretical prediction, black holes leave subatomic particles. 3 years later, in 1977, he became gravitational physics teacher in Cambridge University. In 1979, also in Cambridge, he was appointed at the Lucasian pulpit for mathematics before occupied by Isaac Newton. He was also appointed as the commander of the British Empire Order in 1982. At the same period, Stephen Hawking decided to start to write books and become an author. In 1973, with his first book, The Large-Scale Structure of Space-Time, which is concerned specialists of general relativity instead of the normal people or new scientists. He then followed with other books like The Very Early Space in 1983, one of his bestsellers From the Big Bang to Black Holes in 1988, where he said this philosophical quote, "We live our daily lives with little understanding of our world." He also wrote the book The Universe in a Nutshell in 2001, where the title is a wordplay with a quote of Shakespeare, "I could be bound in a nutshell and count myself a king of infinite space." But in this famous book, he also wrote his own quote, which is, "In science, find the good formulation of a problem often allows to resolve it." All his life, Stephen Hawking tried to deliver several messages by popularizing his theory, books and or texts so everyone can understand everything he made and thought about our world and universe. That's why he was that much published. He also played in different movies like Hawking, published in 2013, made by Stephen Finnegan. This movie showed the life, the loves and the fight against the sclerosis of Mr. Hawking. He has appeared in the movie Anyone Can Quantum, where he faced off Paul Rudd in a highly advanced game of quantum chess. His last theory was realized before his death with the cosmologist Thomas Hertog. This theory was called The Origin of Time and talked about theory of universe origins, time and life. This final theory for the career of Stephen Hawking was published in 2023 after his death. Finally, the career of Stephen Hawking ended at his death because we can see that he made so much different things like teach, make discoveries, write books, play on movie or study different subjects all his life and to the end of his life.
In 1964, doctors diagnosed him to have an amyotrophic lateral sclerosis known as Charcot disease. In 1965, Stephen Hawking got married with Jane Wilde and got 3 children with her: Robert Hawking in 1967, Lucy Hawking in 1969, and Tim Hawking in 1979. Unfortunately, he divorced with her in 1991. He got married again in 1995 with his nurse but divorced in 2006. The 14th March 2018, Stephen Hawking, who is 76 years old, died at home in Cambridge. He died the same day of P-Day, the same day of Albert Einstein's birthday. He has been buried in the Westminster Abbey next to Isaac Newton's grave and Charles Darwin's grave. He was a great image of the modern sciences and in astrophysics and cosmology. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe the channel, like the video and comment.